I get for 100 miles, and I'm doing kind of a bypass on the back road between was kind of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we're going to go kind of around the side of Nashville over to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where I'm delivering this Class A motorhome. I will show you that, the inside and outside of this motorhome once I get it parked, if I get it there safely. But I just wanted to show you kind of what I get to drive through today, because I wasn't expecting this, but they had an accident on I-65 South, and Google says this road is actually 45 minutes faster somehow. Which if you have a teeny tiny little four-door car or motorcycle or something, maybe it would be, but not in a big old motorhome like this. At least it's wide enough, and they've kept the trees back enough that they're not scraping on the sides of the motorhome or anything. So at least there's that. But I'm not a big fan of no shoulders on the side of the road. If anything were to come up that's bigger than, you know, a semi, like a combine or something, I would be totally screwed, because there's nowhere I can pull off at. They're your classic back roads, Kentucky. It is beautiful out here, but I just wish they had shoulders. I mean, look at that. You can't go wrong looking at Kentucky. This is part of the reason I went for Tennessee, was to check out some Kentucky and Tennessee land for a little bit. Like and subscribe, leave comments, stay tuned for the tour of the vehicle inside and out. Peace. So, Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. I am in a Class A. It's a 36 or something. I don't think it's 36 foot long, but it says Class A 36 on the description. I've showed you one other one of these before, and you just saw the driving video that I did of the Kentucky back roads. Since this is the next clip up, I'm just showing you the inside of it now. You have this neat little desk over here, and it does have power outlets back there, so you can plug in your laptop or something if it works off of DC power. This whole bed drops down. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I think you have to have the house battery on and everything to do it, but at night you could pull these curtains around and this drops down if you wanted to. So that's an interesting extra thing. I never mess with it, just because of the fact you have to bring the house, or turn the house power on to make it work. My stuff's right there. This has a dinette. I don't know if you can really see it or not. I'm 6 foot tall, so it probably wouldn't work for me unless I slept diagonal on it, and then you gotta mess with bringing the thing down and bring it back up, and who knows if you break that or not. So I don't mess with the table. I just leave it where it's at. Same thing here. This couch will pull down and go out that way. I might be able to sleep on it diagonal, maybe, but it's 5 foot, a little over 5 foot long, if that. So a 6 foot or longer person would have a hard time sleeping on it. But it's neat that you can convert it to that if need be, if you have like kids or whatever. This is nice. The whole slide is built. The kitchen is built in the whole, and the dinette and the TV and everything, as you can see, are all built onto this slide. I'm gonna try and bring the view back out further so you can kind of see it. Oops, excuse my big elbow there. I'm not used to the wide view, wide angle. I've showed you the motorhome, this same model motorhome before, like 2 months ago when I first started doing this. There's something in there that I got. I took the same kind of floor plan. It was just regular wood or maple wood instead of painted white. Other than that, it's about the same floor plan as I had before, I believe. I'm not positive. Pretty close if it's not the same. I think it is the same. It's just the only difference is the color is white. You do have almost a full fridge, which is nice. A two-side sink, which is also nice. I happen to have all the trash in there right now at the moment, because that's just generally where I put all my trash, so that I remember to take it out. I just put it all in the sink when I'm done eating stuff and whatever, so that I can get it out easily when I deliver it. You have a full, looks like oven and stove top with the 4 burners, that's kind of nice in terms of like a house. And then of course your microwave, shower with the overhead, which is nice, especially for 6 foot tall people. I haven't stepped in it to see, but it's probably 6'5", almost 7 foot tall. There's me. I need to lose some weight. Nice full length mirror though, or half length mirror right there. This stuff is brand new, so I'm not gonna mess with too much of it, but they are magnetically closed or shut with the thing, and then the magnet holds them in place so that when you're going down the road you don't have any issues with them flying open, which is nice. There's your controls. Does have a generator on board. This particular model does have a push start, I believe, for the generator that's on the keys. And there's 2 sets of keys right there in that little key fob, which is the first I've seen that On-off push start. I believe it's for your generator, which is kind of neat. You can start your generator from away from camp. Which the other model did not have that, so it must have a slightly upgraded generator outside. This is your bathroom. Typical toilet. Half bath type of design. Kind of nice. Big mirror over there you can see. The only thing I have noticed about this model in particular, they do not have any fans at all in these overheads. They're literally just an open hole. Which, I mean, that doesn't take much to swap that out, but you would think they would spend a little bit of money on doing that, but they must make the end customer spend those extra dollars to upgrade these things. And just send them to the factory, from the factory, with just a simple vent. Which, I mean, I cranked all those vents open the other day and without running AC or nothing because I can't run the house. With the cross ventilation and having the screen door completely open with the regular door open, I mean, and the screen door shut, so you had the full air coming in, it really, you could tell the difference where you could feel the air going up and out. So, I mean, they do work without a fan in particular in them, but in my opinion, I think they're kind of stupid without having an actual fan in them. But see, there's 3 of them. There's one in the bedroom, one in the bathroom, and one in the front. But all 3 of them don't have any kind of fan. They're literally just a lid that you open. And that's it, which in my opinion is kind of stupid. Then here's your wide view angle of the bed. Bed's kind of messed up a little bit because I did sleep on it last night. I'm going to plan on sleeping on it again tonight because I didn't make delivery today. It's 5 o'clock just now and I'm 32 miles north of the delivery. I'm in Lebanon, Tennessee, and I'm going to take this to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is pretty much the other side of Nashville, tomorrow, since I knew I wouldn't make it here in time. This was a 486 mile trip. I could have technically done it all in one day, but I had issues with my pay card. And then on top of that, you know, I'm living this lifestyle. I am trying to use these vehicles for a day or two at a time before I turn them in, as a way to, you know, carry you through the 1 day or 2 days of the week, I guess you would say. That's kind of the only benefit or perk that I really get for it. I mean, I get paid for it, don't get me wrong, but the only added free benefit that I get is the use of them. So you might as well use them for a day or 2 extra if you have to, or if you want to, I should say. That's the perk of it, I guess. And this one isn't in a hurry, it's an old one. Or old on the accounts, I mean, for the little board, which means it's not in a hurry. They just ordered it, and whenever it gets there, it gets there. Apologize ahead of time for the loud dog. Here is your picture of it from the outside. Nice big storage on the one outside right there. I believe that's propane, I'm not sure, I haven't looked. Of course, your heater vent, your hookups. Nice big storage right there that's open. The only thing, like I think I mentioned on the last one, that I don't like about this is the one door in and out. Would create high traffic, especially if you had family. Everybody going in and out of the one door, you know, in my opinion, I don't really like it. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to fill it up. I've learned the secret with filling these up is you pull through the pump and then back up to where you need it, and I'll show you that in a second as to why that is. There's the overhead. That's kind of neat, that slide with the smaller windows, but over time, how heavy that slide is with the full kitchen, I would think you're going to have issues with your slide. But at least you can use your slide, or you can use everything in there whether it slides out or not. That's the one thing I do like about the floor plan in this. You don't have to have the slide out to make use of anything inside it. So that's nice, a Pursuit to do that. It's basically a combination of Coachman, Pursuit, Forrest River, and then I forget what else. Maybe the floor plan name is Pursuit, I don't know, but there's a Coachman. All your regular other hookups, city, water, TV, all that. Right there, I believe your generator is down. Yeah, there's the exhaust for it, so it's right there in that. And then you have those 2 sections. I'm not going to go through and actually open those compartments or nothing. But I just thought I'd show you. The other thing, couple things that are missing from this is they're supposed to have a ladder right there, and it don't. Shows right on the paperwork, and I made sure they knew when they went down, but the woman I talked to said they don't matter. They have plenty of ladders anyway. This type of model, they just store 6 or 8 of them anyway, so it don't matter. There's your gas can, or gas lid, like I said, so you have to back up to the pump to feel it. That's the easiest way to do it, because that way you can use the backup camera to see where it's at. Otherwise, it's a pain in the butt to try to see, you know, this half a blind spot as you're going through the pump. So the easiest way is to drive through and then back up to it. And watch what you're doing, of course, you don't hit the pump or nothing. So, missing a ladder. That's going to be not a ding on me, but a ding I have to point out to them at delivery. I've taken 2 of these now, and I almost took a third one, but it didn't make it out of the thing because it had other stuff that went wrung. Well, I guess this one actually is screwed in tight. I figured it would be. Oh, it is kind of loose. The 2 that I took, the last set I took to Boise, I think it was Boise that I took this one to already. Because it's a repeat. Or, I mean, this is going to Tennessee on this one, but those mirrors like move unless you tighten them all down, and I gave up on it. You know, each time I go to take it, I just try to push it back up and call it good, but I'm going to point out to them that they need to tighten that down. At least the door actually works on this one. The last Class C I took, the RV door, it took 3 of us to get it open right at delivery, and I was like, oh my god, and they're going to blame me for that, but they didn't. So, missing a ladder, the mirror needs tweaked. Those are the 2 obvious things that they'll have to fix before they can sell it. But the other update that I'm going to give you that I already let slip a little bit is after this run to Tennessee, I'm going to, this is Wednesday, of course, so I'm going to deliver this tomorrow, Thursday. I'm going to try and get on the bus back to Elkhart at 8:15. It's the only time it runs. Tomorrow night, which is Thursday night, I'm going to be in Elkhart Friday at around 2, Elkhart, Indiana. And I'm going to pick up another Class C that I've already have reserved because they called me about it. And basically they're doing, this is the short run and that's the long run, because this one was 486 miles. The next one is like, I can forget, 17, maybe 1900 miles, I can't remember. Closer to, I think it was 1900 miles and something, 1979 miles or something, I'm not sure how many miles it is from Goshen, Indiana, or I mean Elkhart, Indiana, out to Boise. I've done it before, and I'm going to the same RV dealership that I've done before, like a month and a half ago, but, you know, I need the miles, because all these short runs are killing me. And the time off, I was happy to see family and everything, don't get me wrong, but the time off between seeing family and friends has set me back pretty good, and put me in the hole, so I need to be getting some good money going. And if you take, let's say, a $2,000 or 2,000 mile run in one of these bigger outfits, like a Class C or a Class A, it'll take you $800 or so in fuel. And then coming back, if you fly back, instead of taking the bus, if you take the bus, it'll only cost you $200. If you fly back, it'll average cost you about $400, unless you find some deals to fly back to Elkhart with, or back and then get to Elkhart with from the bus and train and whatever. You have to fly into Chicago or South Bend, Indiana, and then take other transportation, ground transportation to get to Elkhart. But all included, it costs around $400 to get back if you fly. And so figuring on all that, your expenses are around $1,200, which means you have a profit of about $800, depending on how much transportation cost took to get back, and of course how much your unit took. If it's a Class A, it's probably going to take a little more than a Class C, and obviously if it's a Class B small van, it'll take even less than that, and you'll get even more profit off the Class Bs. That's why a lot of them take it. I wish, you know, there was a list of Class Bs that Synergy had last week, but of course I got screwed. And it, you know, it seems like every time I sign up for something else, then they post the good stuff. It's weird, and I've tried to figure out when they post stuff and wait and so on, so that I can get a better ride. But lately I've not been that lucky. But she did call me back with a decent Class C that's going with mileage wise, and I was just giving you the rundown on how many, you know, for miles, how much profit you would make was the average of $800 for, let's say, 5 or 6 days worth of work, depending on how far you push it out. But you try to average like 500 miles a day driving, so you're looking at, if you did 500 miles a day every single day, it'd only be 4 days worth that would take to get 2,000 miles, give or take, with your logs. But I, like I say, just like with this one, stretched it out a couple days. I'm going to stretch it out a couple days on that one too, and make it about 6 days worth of my time, just to not push myself, because there's no reason to. I don't have to drive 500 or 600 miles a day with this job. They are fine with you taking in a couple extra days. Now, if you took an RV, what's supposed to be like a 2-day run, let's say 486 miles like this one's, a day or two worth of run, and you kept it for 3 weeks, they would not be happy. You'd get terminated. But they understand the leeway of a couple days, give or take, on an accident or weather, or just because you don't want to drive that fast, or that, not, I shouldn't say that fast, but that far a day. They understand all that, and they'd much rather have a safety-oriented driver that drives 300 miles a day, let's say, and takes a day or two extra, than someone who drives all 500 miles a day every day, whether they're tired or not, and then ends up in an accident. So they are perfectly fine with it taking a little bit longer than it has to, or it should have taken to get there on average. Because the difference between me and somebody else, and I don't want to jinx it yet, is I so far anyway have 16,000 accident-free miles. And have not had a major boo-boo yet. Which, cross my fingers, knock on wood, blah blah blah. You know, fake wood, but I'll knock on it anyway. That I don't get into an accident for just because I just now said that, but you know, I take my time and I watch what the hell I'm doing. You know, it was raining earlier and I try not to be out there in the rain. You know, and obviously I try not to drive at night for those reasons, because all of that increases your chances of getting into a wreck. And why bother doing that when you have the timetable not to? You know, there's other people out here that have house payments and everything else, and I can totally understand why they've got to try and get 2 or 3 trips a week continuously and sign up for as many miles as they can get. I totally get it, but that's not my life. My life, I'm just living in these vehicles, going from vehicle to vehicle, and I don't have anything but 2 phones. I decided to have 2 phones and a tablet payment, and then I have my storage payment, and then I have a mailbox occasionally that I pay every 6 months. But aside from that, right now I don't have anything extra that I pay. I mean, I pay a total of probably around $200 a month in bills, give or take, of regular monthly bills, and then of course my food. But each trip pays for your food as you're going. So, technically speaking, I should be ahead right now, but I had a little too much fun around family and friends, and now I'm in the hole a little bit, but I'm getting by. Anyway, this is the best of the video that I could do. I showed you the inside and outside of it. It's pretty much the same as the other one that I showed you last time. Like and subscribe. Share my videos. Check below for the merchandise in the description below, if I can get that deal figured out here to get it fixed. But we have merchandise on teespring.com, but it's down there in the link below in the description for like to buy t-shirts or hoodies or glasses. They have like glasses that you drink out of, or socks, or like shot glasses, or a bunch of stuff on there. So it would support the channel if you did so. My mailing address, I believe, is also in the comment section below if you wanted to send me anything in the mail. And aside from that, I will catch you next time on the flip. Peace.